Holas. This one will be special in the sense that this might be like 4 or 5 parts long, I don't know. But I'm gonna keep going until I feel I've gotten everything out. This one will be the main chunk, bulk, or I guess depending on how well I can get it to flow together, continuity of my original depression, which would have started sophomore year, halfway through it, if my memory holds correct, before October. I don't remember. I tried to use Halloween as my judge of events for time span. I don't remember what I did that year, if I did anything, or if we tried to do anything, or who was with us, or whatever. But the initial cause, it wasn't just one event. It's more of a culmination and crushing realization that so much of your time, so much of your life, so much of who you wanted to be, tried to be, thought you could be, just gets obliterated around you, and you find out that you are a complete and utter fool for thinking you had anything, any part of it whatsoever down packed. And it's crazy how much you really don't know anything. And that's, I mean, that thought by itself, if you actually take it in deep to yourself, to your own life, it's really depressing, especially for, some people are okay accepting that they don't know anything and that they can just live life by their own rules, book, whatever, and just go with it. I don't know. I always thought that I had my life set, planning goals figured out from like middle school. I was talking with Gary about it last night. I've set most of the framework for who I would be for the rest of my life going into middle school, just because I didn't want peer pressure and all the other shit to try to influence me. So essentially, I got a head start on it. I don't have to worry about it. But the initial cause that I put with it most of the time is that Fallout day with Angela's cell phone and Sarah and Josh, and me just not giving a fuck about anything or anybody and just doing the hell I wanted for once. Felt good. By the end of the night, I had resigned myself to have no friends the next day, and minus a shoe. If you want to know that story, write in the comment. I'll type it out and see about adding that in there. It's a story that's a part of the story, but I don't want to get into it. It's the main bulk of the story, actually, or at least of the call is part of this story anyway. That's just the incident that, I guess it's a turning point. You're like, oh, after I turn this page, shit goes downhill. But this page by itself isn't a clear marker of anything. After that, the next day, actually, Angela, the main culprit of this whole thing, she was fine. Josh was fine. Couldn't understand why Sarah seemed to still have a tiff. Time went on. I don't handle cold turkey rejection well. A lot of my brain and my body is set up to strive to get answers, resolution, and peace. So when people just break up and shut down, it befuddles me. So I try ways to try to figure out what's happening, and then couple with my need to be loved, not loved. Love is a strong emotion, but be in good standings with everyone that I know anyway. It double compacts. And then just basically just boil it down to, is this her way? Even though I hate calling it like people immature, gigantically immature way of dealing with my behavioral issues. Later on, a couple months later, I found out that it wasn't her idea. It's her interpretation of her parents' idea, and I don't know. It's everything I got secondhand, because me and her never actually got to have a talk. It wasn't until the spring of the next year. This was 2009. Yeah, so that's spring of 2010. Where no, I wasn't. Yeah, it was. No, it wouldn't have been spring. Spring of 2010 would be my sophomore year. Fall would have been when shit went down. Yeah, because 8 to 9 is freshman, 9 to 10 is sophomore. Oh, so yeah, I guess it would have been the summer or the fall of the set. Because I know I didn't give two shits about Sarah once I was dating Brandy. And that started over winter break. So yeah, all this stuff, I guess involving her anyway, happened then. I mean, a couple stuff came out later, but for the most part, that was the main chunk of it. And like, I don't really know what got me depressed for the most part. It's one of the things I can't remember. / I'm pretty sure it's just a gradual transition. But like, I spent all of freshman year and the first half of the first semester of sophomore year pining, I want to say scheming. It has a negative connotation, but I mean planning. I mean, I'm scheming, I'm planning, I'm divining, I'm trying to figure out every way in which I can make this girl mine. Not dastardly, it's just I thought she was awesome. And hell, it's a lot of why was fucked up with me now. Just, I guess, my defense to that from happening again. Because pushing against a wall, or no, not a wall, because walls don't backlash. I don't know. Doing something against the resistant force for as long as you can. When it finally snaps back, it snaps back hard, and it hurts deep down. It really hurts. Like throughout. I mean, I've had down pitch just throughout my attempt to court, and obviously never went anywhere. And it's, I don't know, it's bullshit, and it's annoying, because, like, I don't understand the premise behind friend zoning, and why it's a permanent affair, I guess, and also don't understand the whole I made up my mind in 2 seconds thing. Like, I can barely accept that it happens. I can't accept. It's not willingly. In any regard is it willingly. But I can accept that it happens. And I don't know. It's befuddling to think that the logic behind such a similar process can differ so much between people. And I don't know if you guys still hear me or not. So that's. But I got depressed. Well before the end of that semester. Like, oh, I got some. So I guess what happened in like September. Because I think Morgan was a part of our group for Halloween. I think we went trick or treating together. Yeah, I did. Yep, that was when I was upset with Michael. That's right, boy. You get first name. When there's spite, you get your first name. Yeah, I don't take competition well, mostly because I have nothing that puts me ahead of anyone else. So I like to go unopposed for as long as I can. And when something else comes in, I get really jealous really easily, regardless of my right to jealousy. Waiting to that last minute. So that's always been a problem. And so I guess that happened then. And then I was definitely depressed by then. I started taking counseling. And because after, I don't know, days of just not being able to, I don't know, the earlier depression is weird because it wasn't so much of a block slump that's most common with depression, and I know especially prevalent with my like end of second semester depression. It was just a deep down sad endless feeling, and I never got suicidal, but I know it crossed my mind a bunch. And